event, the parts to sell year round and add six figures to your business. And this is an event for you if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you are a small business owner. This training is really going to help you see the parts to how you can add an extra six, maybe a couple of six figures to your business. Um, so I'm just gonna, give it just a few minutes, and let me just uh, let's see for the people on LinkedIn and Facebook. Let me take a quick look here. Yeah, so hopefully the event is showing for you live, and you should be able to join from either of those places. Okay, so growing your business, it looks like it's something that should just be a matter of tactics and kind of easy methods of growth, as everybody thinks. But if it was that easy, and we all kind of know the tactics anyway, we know like you're supposed to do email marketing, do social media marketing. There's a lot of supposed tactics and methods that supposedly will grow your business. But if it was that easy, then how come that? Why is it that for a lot of small business owners, this becomes something really complex, and somehow they are not really able to grow? So we will address some of those topics, and then I'll actually show you how to overcome some of those limiting factors, some of those limiting beliefs, and how you can actually then employ these particular tactics and the particular system, what I call the incredible year-round profits funnel, and how you can actually use that in your own business to actually be able to make sales year-round. Um, so let me begin with just like a quick, let's do a quick thought experiment here. Um, so if you are here live, or if you are watching the replay, then I would like you to ask yourself this question. And this is a question that you need to answer, all right? If Elon Musk walked up to you and he offered you $1 million for you to basically just sit at home for the next year and not work on your business, that was the requirement of the $1 million. He said, okay, I want you to take a year off this business, whatever you are doing, whether you're a coach, you're a solopreneur, you're a small biz guy, you run an e-commerce store, it's just you. But he says, hey, I'm giving you $1 million to just sit at home and relax for the year. Okay. Um, and so, how many of you would say yes to that offer? How many of you would say no to that offer? This is a big question you really need to. Okay, so I need you to answer that, and if possible, drop an answer in the comments. Just say yeah, like yes, I take the offer, or no, I don't take the offer. Um, so I'll give you a little bit of time just to make up your mind on that. Uh, but here's the big thing now. Hopefully you've chosen whether you are a yes or a no. Now comes the result of this thought experiment. So the thing about this thought experiment is that for those of you that actually said no to this unbelievable offer, those are the people that are much more likely to either be already making a million in their business, right now, or to actually be able to go on and make a million in their business in the next 12 months or more. And there's a reason for this. It really comes down to belief, because these are the people that believe, and here's the key point, these are the people that believe that their time is worth more than $1 million a year. Everybody else that took the money, okay, you did well, you got you an easy million, but it's gonna be so much harder for you to make more than a million. Whereas the people that believe that their time is worth more than $1 million a year, they can see themselves making maybe 5 million a year, maybe 50 million a year, or maybe a lot more than that. So there's a big lesson here about belief, guys, and what belief is belief is going to either put a cap on what you can achieve in terms of growing your business, or it's just going to open up things for you so that you can actually do a lot more. And also belief ultimately affects just how fast, like what is the actual speed at which you can actually grow your business. So let's talk about your beliefs for a second, and kind of try to help you figure out exactly how you can get a handle on this. And your beliefs, you can change your beliefs at any time. So if you would, I think all of us have a story where there was something we believed was pretty much impossible, and then one day you wake up and you make it happen. Think about it when you're a little kid. You see everybody else around you walking, but you're not able to walk because you haven't learned to walk yet. You might not even be able to crawl, right? Um, and so you might feel pretty powerless and helpless, like, okay, everybody else can do this cool stuff. I cannot do it. But one day comes and you develop that belief and you start trying to walk. And sure enough, you fall a lot of times. But eventually, one day comes and you're actually able to do it. So don't be worried if you would take the million and now you think, oh, because of my beliefs, I cannot build a successful business. That's not the point of the story. The point of the story is you want to get into that second category of people that have developed the belief and they have evaluated their own time at a far higher place, and that are going to be able to scale and to grow their businesses a lot faster. So belief develops when you're a kid, right? And in my view, you probably have a lot of belief, just as an infant, but that's not really the peak of your belief. And as we all know, later on in life, society and schools and all kinds of things tend to kind of put a constraint and a limit on your beliefs. So as you go on in society, you tend to come across these belief dampeners. But as infants, we all have a lot of belief. Like, look at like 4 or 5 year old kids. We all have a lot of beliefs at that age, but that's not really the peak. In my view, I think that the peak of belief really comes around probably the 8 year old mark, because a 5 year old kid might have a lot of belief, like they've learned to walk, they've learned to do all these cool things, but they just don't have enough knowledge yet about what's out there in the world. Like they don't even know, if you say the word engineer to them, they don't know what that is. But an 8 year old kid is more likely to know. So they have an 8 year old kid has a bigger horizon. They've done all the basic things of being a little young human, but now they've been exposed to so much more. So they actually have much more knowledge about what's out there. They can probably know a little bit about outer space, so they can probably believe I can be an astronaut, whereas a 5 year old kid wouldn't begin to know anything about that. So around like the 8 year mark, you have knowledge and a lot of belief. And here's the thing: is almost everything you've done up to that point has succeeded. Like, you didn't know how to run, you did that. You didn't know how to talk your native language way back when, and you learned that, and now you're good at that. You might even have learned a second language, if you've been exposed, and you have a lot of experiences. You've done all kinds of things. Now, here's the other thing: is but at around like the 8-year-old level. Now, the further along you go past that, um, things begin to get a bit dicey, because this is when now you're gonna start running into what we could call real life, if you will. Because like when you go up to like the 12-year-old mark, 13, 14-year-old mark, now you start to run into some experiences where you're gonna succeed at a lot of things, but you're now also gonna have some of those other experiences where you're gonna run into failure. You're gonna run into people telling you that can't be done, and not all of it is malicious. Okay, some of it is just plain. You start running into reality. Like you're 13, 14 years old. You go out on the football field to try out, and you discover some other kid is faster than you, and it's the first time you've ever really noticed that. Um, and around that point, I think it kind of begins to become real to you. You start encountering these things. Maybe you try out for like a competition in something, um, and you come out like you don't win the competition. A lot of you guys don't win the competition just because there's like one win. If there's one winner, right, everybody else is gonna lose. And so around that point, we all start to run into these things where belief starts to go down a little bit, or at least it's not growing at this peak rate that you had when you were like 8 years old. And so you kind of need to be aware of that. It's like some of the experiences you've had as an adult, don't let them dent your belief. Because just because you haven't succeeded at doing something yet, maybe you wanted to, make $1 million in your business, grow your business, um, to have like 10 employees and a powerful, strong team. That hasn't happened, um, or is growing much slower than you wanted. That doesn't mean you can't do it. What it means is you kind of need to step back a little bit and say, what are my limiting beliefs? And realize that that's just thoughts in your mind. It doesn't mean you can't do those things. That's just your experience. But if you put the time into learning the skills, because capabilities can always change, okay? So let's say, for example, this is just a random example. I don't think for too many of us entrepreneurs, I don't think this would be our goal. But let's suppose it was your goal to become CEO of Apple, and maybe maybe you're not qualified. Certainly I'm not qualified to be CEO of Apple. But the fantastic thing about business is that capabilities can be grown. So, like for example, I could go do an MBA, and then I could go in and get a job at IBM as a low-level manager, and then after that, I could go do a PhD in management, and then maybe I'd go in and become CEO of a fashion brand. 5 years of that, and then maybe Apple would recruit me as a senior manager, and then one day, voila, I am CEO of Apple. So capabilities can be built up, even if you haven't um, gotten the skills yet to do something. Now doesn't mean you cannot do this, if you set your mind to it and you go for it. So let's talk about the second key, that is a big factor in business growth besides your beliefs, and that's unconventional thinking. Okay, guys, anytime you want to do something out of the ordinary, you have to, your methods cannot be the same thing that everybody else is doing. And so, a good example that I'd like to give you for unconventional thinking is, think back to when the Wright brothers invented the aeroplane. They had to break with the conventional thinking established over not centuries, not hundreds of years, but millennia, thousands of years, that men cannot fly. Like, what are you saying that men can fly? We all know men cannot fly. Like that was the that was the established order of science and of human knowledge. Everybody was saying like we've heard the ancient philosophers from Plato all the way back. Everybody knew men cannot fly. And coming to modern times, they'll be saying we've had great scientists like say Isaac Newton and his scientific laws of gravity. They've proven this stuff like and you take any heavy thing, you put it in the air, it's gonna drop down. What are you talking about? Men cannot fly. So that was the conventional thinking. But as we all know, men could in fact fly. And nowadays, men do in fact fly. And we have a lot to thank the Wright brothers for because they literally, you have to be a bit brave. You have to step away from whatever the convention is and find something that will allow you to get to your goal. And the same is true in growing your business as well. So that's the second key is you wanna step away from conventional thinking and start going after the unconventional ideas that will allow you to really grow your business. Okay, so let's talk about the third key. And now we're going to get real tactical for growing your business. And the third key to growing your business so much faster and to the scale that you really want to see as a small business owner or as a coach or consultant. Your third key is building email lists. And this is really, really important. You might have heard internet marketers say that the money is in the list. And that is true. So true that that should be the central focus for you as a business owner for like the next 12 months. If you really want to add this extra six figures in your business that we're talking about in this training, then do yourself a favor. I want you to make it a central focus going forward to grow your email list. Now, some of you might not have a big email list, or you might not even have built an email list. You've been relying on like TikTok and Instagram to like find all your clients there. Maybe you're doing a lot of cold outreach, which is a good tactic at a certain level of business, right? Like you wanna keep all those things going. I understand those things can grow your business to a certain level, and so you kind of need to maintain them. But going forward, if you want to unlock, right, you want to open up that next level of business growth, then I need you to tap into this third growth factor, which is email lists. And you really want to get very, very serious about growing your email list. And like you might not have a lot of ideas for how to grow your email list. So we might in fact need to do a training on that later on. But the basics are not too complex, right? Like if you've been driving traffic from like Facebook, Instagram, all these platforms, what you need is you now need like an email capture mechanism on your website. So for example, like you could put up like a free lead magnet, like a small ebook or something, and then people need to subscribe with their emails in order to get access, and then you send them the ebook, and now you have their email and you can keep in touch with them. That's the gist of building an email list from scratch. But you need to have like a big focus on how you're going to be able to grow your email list over the next 12 months. That's really how you're going to be able to really unlock this growth method that I'm laying out for you right here. So let's suppose you've built up your email list, or you already have an email list. So I'm going to show you like my method for how you can actually put this whole email list strategy on steroids. And it's what I call the Incredible Yearlong Profits Funnel. And this is a way that you're going to be able to multiply the value that you're delivering to your people, to your email subscribers, and you're also going to be able to actually help them by providing a lot more of your products or your services or whatever it is that you happen to be selling. It might be an affiliate offer or something else, and you actually be able to sell a lot more to them. So with the incredible year-long profits funnel, the main idea is that you are going to take a much more intensive approach. So let's step back a little bit and think about the typical person, the typical solopreneur that's got an email list. You know what happens is you send an email to your list today, and then you go about doing your business, doing whatever it is you're doing. And then 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, a month goes by, and then you say, wait a second, I haven't sent an email in like in like 2 months. And then you panic, and so you send a quick email like, hi there guys, what's going on? Yada yada yada, and then that's it. But what happens is, on the other side, for your audience, for your email subscribers, like they're getting like this fairly random stream of consciousness, um, that really, you talk to them, and then you ghost them for like 3 months. You're gone for like the rest of the quarter. And worse if the only time you're communicating with your email list is when you happen to be launching something, like that's a pretty quick way to kill your email list, because you're not providing enough value. You're not think about some of the people that you follow on YouTube, for example, or that you follow on your podcast. Think about your favorite podcast. If all that guy or girl did was turn up and just simply say, buy my stuff, how long would it take before you unsubscribe? Like in my own case, for example, I have to regularly go through my email list. Unfortunately, because as a marketer, I sign up for a lot of stuff. I see something cool, I sign up, like, okay, I need to check that out. So I've literally been signed up to, like, I think probably at this point, thousands of like email lists, right? But once in a while, I have to regularly go in there and actually unsubscribe to stuff, simply because there's too much email coming at me. And what I see some of the time, and this is just a tip also when you're doing this, is don't be so sales driven, because email is communication, it's not sales. Sure, there's selling happening, we're gonna sell stuff, but that's not the primary purpose. The primary purpose is communication. We spreading ideas, helping people with our ideas, and being helped by them with their ideas. So if all you do is show up once a month, and all you're doing is you're just trying to sell stuff, that's a pretty quick way to to ruin your email list, and then you're not gonna get the value of the business growth that this asset could actually bring for your business. And so with the year-long profits funnel, what you're gonna do is you're gonna avoid that pitfall. And how you do it is actually with this second key that we have for the year-long profits funnel. It's automation. Okay, so rather than be haphazard, where you're turning up randomly when fancy strikes, you're going to be very deliberate, and you're going to set up an email automation. Some of you might be familiar with these things. You go into your favorite email list management provider. It might be Klaviyo, it might be GetResponse, it might be System.io, it might be ClickFunnels. Whatever your email system is, and you want to set up a well-structured, well-directed, step-by-step email sequence that nurtures your email list, and that sends out a ton of value for free to them on a regular basis. So the way you do this with the year-long profits funnel is you're going to set it up to go out every week. And so what you need is 52 emails for the week. For the year, 52 emails. Now they don't have to be super long, because 52 emails, you might be saying, that's a lot of emails. How am I ever gonna get that many emails in my system? That's a lot of emails, but they don't need to be like, super long articles. They need to be just a lot of value. So for example, if you've got some videos that you have on your Instagram, or that you've shared a quick blog post on your blog, you have some valuable freebies that you've created inside your Facebook group. Those could all be part of the emails in your year-long profits funnel that are going out on certain weeks of the year. And an email could just be, hey, here's a quick tutorial that I did. It's available in my Facebook group. You can get it for free right here, and you put the link right there. So that could be one email. Another email could be, hey, here's a quick YouTube video that I did to help you, my students, with XYZ. Whatever it is that you're helping them with, that's what you're gonna put into that in that tutorial on YouTube, and then you send that out to your email list. And this is incredibly valuable for your people, because they're getting free education from an expert that helps them. Like, a lot of them will actually get results without ever speaking to you one-on-one, just by getting your email, taking in the knowledge that you've provided them, clicking through, if it's a video, clicking through to like the YouTube video and watching the rest of the tutorial, and they'll get a lot of value from this. So you really build incredible amounts of goodwill. And you want a 52-week automation that covers the entire year. So a question you might be having at this point, and this is really gonna be the framework for how you structure these emails, is like, well, what kinds of things should I include in this email? Like, and when do I get to sell my stuff? I got a lot of courses. I got a lot of services that I provide. When do I actually sell? And so the framework that we're gonna use for actually teaching and selling is what I call the value pitch framework. The idea behind this framework is that for every sales email that you send, it has to be preceded by two value emails. That's why it's called value pitch email sequence. So for example, this week you could be sending out a tutorial. Let's suppose that you're a career coach, and you're sending out tutorials to an audience of kind of like people that are climbing the corporate ladder. And so you're giving them like interview tips, you're giving them like how to get the best next job and things like that. So what you do is, this week could be like a tutorial, okay, how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. For example, that could be a valuable tutorial for your market and for your email list, and that goes out this week. That's the tutorial that goes out this week. You send out nothing else. You don't need to send out nothing else. It doesn't have to be a lot of work for you. And then the next email, which would be for next week, could be the next follow-up tutorial, another value email. So you had a value email. Now we're sending out a second value email, and it's gonna be, for example, what not to say in a job interview. Okay, just really practical, highly useful. Because if you're a coach in that space, you know a lot of the tactics and tips that can really get people results. Okay, like don't mention this nonsense in your interview, because when managers hear that, then they don't hire you. Okay, so that's like the second value email. Now in the third email after that, so the third email in that run could be like, maybe you've got a $500 course that gives them a roadmap to landing their ideal job in the next 90 days. So that's your course. So the third email in this round is going to be a literal pitch email, where we say, Okay, now here's the quick way to getting your ideal job in the next 90 days. And um, I give you all the help inside this course, and the course lays it all out. You put your very best techniques, your very best interview hacks, everything that they need, basically, how to tailor their resume. You've given them samples, you've given them templates, all this stuff is. So that third email is just going to be a complete pitch for your product. But notice what has happened before that third email went out. You actually sent out a lot of super valuable stuff that some of your students could use without ever buying anything from you. And the idea is that people should be able to get a lot of results by just being on your email list and just consuming the stuff that you're sending out for free. They should be able to get enough value from that maybe they don't even need to buy your product, and that's okay. That's okay. If you are so good with your free stuff that then people don't need to buy your paid stuff, then it means you're a really good teacher. And so when you actually do give them something that's paid, the few people that actually get that are gonna like wipe the competition because you're just that good. And so you can probably charge a lot more for that paid stuff if your free stuff really is so good that people are getting unbelievable results for it. It's like some of these are trading coaches, for example, that say, hey, you can trade the stock market. But if the guy can actually really give me tips that are so good for free on his email, that I do it and I start making money and I make an extra 20K. Guess what I'm gonna be thinking in my head? I'm gonna be thinking, you know what? I wonder how good the paid stuff is. If I got the paid stuff, I can make a million. I can make $1 million. And if you can be that good, then you're gonna make it up in how the people that get results are actually then gonna follow up for your paid stuff. So don't ever think like I can't make my free stuff that good, because if your free stuff is bad, then people are just not gonna be impressed. Gonna be like, well, I did get the free tutorial, but I actually lost money on the stuff. I don't know how good the guy is. So then they might actually not buy the paid. So you want to really deliver a lot of value and follow this value pitch format. That's really how you're going to be able to how you're actually going to be able to deliver a lot of value and actually get a lot of sales as well through those pitch messages. Okay, and the value pitch method. This is really a method. I didn't come up with this. I actually learned about the value pitch framework from another marketer named Alex Becker. He's a really top-notch marketer and one of my favorite marketers. I have a lot of marketers that I've learned from, either taking their courses or interacting with them or being in their live programs. Either I have marketers and salespeople. Those tend to be the people that I personally learned a lot of my marketing and selling methods from. Jordan Belfort is another guy that I've learned a lot from being a part of his program some years back. And there are people like that I've really picked up a lot of techniques from. And obviously, I've done some of this stuff for clients as well. Uh, Done a lot of email marketing, funnels, copywriting, a lot of marketing and growth type work. And so I've actually put all this into kind of a comprehensive system that helps solopreneurs grow so much faster, and that's what I call the solopreneur profit machines system. I actually happen to be writing a book on the topic, which should be available in a few months. And you can follow along at my blog where I can kind of give you updates on all that. But here's the key thing, guys, is that I want you to be able to do all this by yourself and for yourself. Like I laid out how you do the year-long profits funnel, why it works, and why it's going to help you sell a lot more of your products, as much as 6 figures over the next 12 months. Um, and you don't really need to hire an expensive marketing consultant like me. You don't need to go out there and say, "Oh, I cannot do this unless I hire some marketing consultant." You can literally do all this by yourself, and you should be able to. It's not that complex. Yeah, here are some tips that I recommend how you can actually do all this for yourself. So one, if you are on some kind of email marketing system, let's say you are using MailChimp, you got your email list on there, you got a few thousand people, or you are using something totally different like GetResponse or Active Campaign or Aweber, whatever your tool, you actually want to go to their website and look for the documentation section and look for the docs about how do I set up an automated campaign, and read around there. If they got videos, those can be super useful. Watch those and really get a bit of information, and then try it out live inside your system, and test whatever you've done, like subscribe yourself just to make sure everything is coming through okay. It will take you a little bit of time. It will take you maybe a week or two to really get the hang of it. But the powerful thing is, by learning to do it for yourself, uh, you give yourself a lot more power as a business person, as a solopreneur. Like if something ever happened to your business and everything got bent down to the ground, if you'd actually taken the time to do it yourself rather than just have somebody come in and do it for you, even when you have no money and you cannot therefore hire any team members to do this kind of stuff, but because you have the skills, the knowledge, you know exactly what to do. And this is why some people can maintain success for a long time, where some other people, it takes just one disaster like the 2008 recession, for example, that knocked out a lot of people out of business. And because some of them didn't have skills strong enough, they'd had people doing everything for them. It was much harder for them to try to rebuild from scratch. So I don't want that to happen to you. This is why I really encourage you to um, get your hands dirty. Jump into the email marketing software that you're using. They got a lot of guides, tutorials to help you actually set this kind of stuff up for yourself. Um, it will make you a much more effective business person. Another key tip that can help you do this for yourself is use chat gpt. So a lot of you might be saying like, I'm not a copywriter, I don't know what to write in these fancy emails. They don't have to be fancy. And if you use AI, you can use a tool like chat gpt or Google Bard or any of these chatbots, and you can literally tell it the same thing you would tell a copywriter. Like, dude, I don't know what to say. What should I say to educate my audience about how to get result X? And then ChatGPT will give you a bunch of good suggestions. Like, okay, send them an email with this topic, discussing this. And because you know your own subject matter expertise, then you can actually structure a much better email by putting in the information that you're an expert at. You can actually give them the real tips. So use AI to your advantage. And then there's one final tip, okay, which is when we're talking about funnels and email systems and software and all this thing, I think people sometimes tend to then lose sight on what we're really doing. And remember again, the main key, the main thing with this is really just to build relationships with your subscribers. You really want to build so focus on that. Like treat your people in the way that you'd like to be treated. Okay, like be generous with them. Like share your time, send them freebies, send them cheat sheets, guides, things that you found online that could be really helpful to them. Just like how you would build relationships with your family members, with people you care about, uh, you invest in them and you build them up. That's exactly the same thing you need to do with your email list. And if you do, you're gonna end up with not just a list of people. you're going to end up with actual strong relationships. And when you do that, guys, your brand is really going to explode. Your brand is really going to grow so much faster. And so that brings us to the end of the training, really. I mean, I'm actually now, though, going to go on just for a few more minutes. For those of you guys that maybe, you got the free training, but maybe you want a way that you can get all this a little bit faster. And so for those of you that want more help with this, I have prepared an amazing system, obviously, and I have prepared a great offer that can help you get your own incredible year-long profits funnel set up for you just a lot quicker. Because one pitfall that happens with when we dive into funnels and things like that, sometimes people fall down a rabbit hole, and then it takes them, they delay too long. They go 3 months, they go 6 months, they go a year. Don't be that guy that you learned about these incredible funnels and then it took you a year to put one in place, because you could literally have made a lot of money in that amount of time. So if you can do it yourself quickly, get on with it, get your hands dirty, and start doing it right away. Don't delay. And if you do need that help to be able to do it a little bit faster, then my offer, the incredible year-long profits funnel, definitely can help you. And the way you get it is you need to get on the wait list. There's a wait list to get in. So if you go to my website, towersofxeron.com, and you look under the services that I provide, there'll be like a tab on the menu for like services. And then you can look up for the year-long profits funnel on there, and it gives you the option to actually click a button and be able to get added to the wait list for the year-long profits funnel. But let me just tell you what it is, guys, because I've literally put together a system in there to make you an extra 6 figures in your business. But I've done a lot more than that. I've done a lot more than that. You get the year-long profits funnel, which can make you 6 figures, but that can add up to multiple 6 figures over the first year, and you still run the exact same system year after year. So this can literally generate additional revenue for your business for like years to come. And it will sell your products. It will sell your main product or your main service. It will sell your additional upsells and downsells and additional products. And so the entire value of that system is really incredible. Now, besides that, I've also added some bonuses where the bonuses alone can make you an additional 6 figures. Like I have put together where I would do sales pages for you. I would do like launch sequences for like launching. If you need to launch a course, I've included several launch bonuses in there that I'll actually implement, and then I set them up, and then they start running and making sales for you around launches. It's really incredible. I've put in there holiday packages, like for like New Year's, Black Friday, all this kind of thing, where you have these promotional events that come up throughout the year, and the bonuses alone that I've put together can make you an additional 6 figures or multiple. And then when you combine that with the main offer itself, the incredible year-long profits funnel, you're looking at the total value of the entire package. Because I really wanted to put together a system that you could run your entire business on and be able to really grow year to year, where you're really having huge growth and you're not wasting all your time having to do all the manual labor. The system does it for you. So the entire value of this system for the right business could literally be in the high 6 figures. And the price for the entire thing is shockingly low for what it does. It's just 15K. But the idea, my motivation was, let's create something that's comprehensive, that's gonna do absolutely everything for you. As I said, guys, there's a wait list, right? Like you need to get on the wait list if you are interested. Uh, just because it's gonna take time, obviously, to to get everybody that would want one of these to actually be able to get it. So to get on the wait list, if you're interested in the wait list and you want to get one of these for yourself, just go to my website again, towersofzeron.com, and then look on the services tab. You literally see the incredible year-long profits funnel, and there'll be a way. Click the button, and you'll be added, so you can be added to the wait list. That's all I have on the Incredible Yearlong Profits Funnel. I can tell you a bit more, like my specific methodology, the other niche tricks that I do in there that can help. But I think the entire framework around it, which I covered on how you can actually do all this for yourself, that's really a key component of my solopreneur profit machines system, which I'm going to have more tutorials covering various aspects and tactics that you can use to actually grow your own business a lot faster. So tune in for the next training series. So check out the event page on Eventbrite, or check out the streams on LinkedIn Live. That's where you can join, or Facebook Live, or just subscribe for the event on Eventbrite, and then it will send you like notifications for how you can actually join the live events. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Really fun, and talk to you next time.